What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the show about nothing. I'm your host, JunesEightyEIght, with the not so limited edition. This is gone. This is gone. Y'all never getting this cup, this logo ever again. It's gone. It's done. Benito, Izzyphantasmo, he got merch. No, he doesn't. He's a taxpayer. He didn't pay his taxes. He got 3 kids. He don't claim them. His baby mama don't love him. Izzyphantasmo, how you doing?
I swear, every single introduction you've been doing is just wild.
Hey, man.
You putting out false information about me.
You want to put out false information now?
Yeah, it's false information.
Is Izzy Junior out there in New York?
Do I have to
Izzy got a kid in Harlem by a Dominican chick named Ashley. I seen her.
Defamation is a lawsuit you don't want to have on your name.
Defamation? I can't make this up if I try. Now, this is like a face of a lie. Shut up. How you doing
today? You gave yourself away. You done gave yourself away.
I ain't getting nothing away.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Because as soon as you ask, is this a face of a person that can lie to you? Shut up. That's it. Right there.
That means nothing. That means nothing. That means
just like your Dallas Mavericks not making the playoffs.
Hey. Leave them out of this.
No.
They did nothing to you. They did nothing to you.
No. I got a grievance with them. I have a grievance. They were above 500 when they got Kyrie Irving, and they are not even in the playoffs. What happened within that month and a half, 2 month span? Something went wacky.
Or they tanked on purpose. Womp womp.
I don't believe it. Like a team that competitive, there's no way you're gonna tank like that. I think someone did something screwy.
Yep. But anyway, we don't get that. Like
and I'm putting it out there that the NBA is investigating them right now.
I heard about that.
But that like I said, that's later on. That we'll talk about that when we talk about that.
But yeah, all jokes aside, I was being for see, I had to beat up on my brother for a little bit. But I went to the dentist today.
He got 3 cavities, and he said they got to give him braces now.
That's a goddamn lie. My dentist and my teeth look freaking amazing. They said my teeth look amazing. Like, yo, you really take care of your teeth? Like, yeah. I said, whatever y'all tell me I need to do, I do it. Like, yo, they said, last time I went to the dentist, they said, the lady said, you don't floss enough. We could tell. Like, all right, cool. I went back. You stepped up your flossing game. You goddamn right I did.
Damn. You're doing better than I did. They told me I got to floss, and I'm like, flossing.
You start doing this shit.
It's hard to do it when you're in the chair. You really can't do much.
You really can't do that.
Because they're like right over you with like, all right, now, so how was your day? Sir, don't try to talk, please. But yeah, you see, there's a molar right there that's like, I said, sir, please don't. Or like when they're cleaning your teeth out and they get they try to like a little too hard and you leave and your jaw hurt and you're like, what the heck happened?
No, it really messed me up about the conversation they be having while they working. Well, me and my wife, we made some steaks for dinner last week. This week we had a creme brulee and some pico wine from Wine Country, California. It was aged for 40 years. It was delicious. What do you do, Mark? What do you do? I planted my garden. And you just sitting there like,
And the bad part is you're hungry the entire time because you don't. Because you brush your teeth, you don't eat, you go over there because you want your mouth to be as clean as possible. So you're on an empty stomach and they're talking food.
Man, look, it'd be crazy. But like my dentist said, my teeth are great. They keep it. They said, they advised me to get my last 3 wisdom teeth out because I got one taken out a few years ago because it was all bad. It was like it was pushed up against my other tooth. It was all bad. I had to get that taken out. And we advise you to get
I had a dentist before the one that I'm seeing now. I had a dentist, right?
Right.
And every single time he saw me, he was like, so about your wisdom teeth, I know you said they're not bothering you, but I think it would be beneficial for you to have them take them out. And I'm like, sir, I know what you're trying to do. This isn't my first rodeo. I've had braces twice. I know how this thing plays out. Yes, I said twice. I had them on. They took them off prematurely, put them back on later on, and then I got them taken out. Finally, haven't had to need them since. But I think it was like the last time or one of the last times I went to the dentist, one of the doctors was like, "Well, you ever heard of Invisalign?" And I'm like, "I've heard about it." And like, "Well, maybe you could look into it and blah blah blah." And I'm like, "All right, well, I got to see what my insurance is like because Invisalign's not cheap." Like whenever you hear about Invisalign, they make it all so fancy and they make it also like, "Oh, well, this you just put it on and it's not visible and whatever, and it makes your teeth all straight." But they don't tell you, yeah, it's gonna cost you about like $6,000. Yeah, it costs you a pretty penny to get them teeth right. I should know. My parents put in a lot of work for these pearly whites.
Look, I went to dinner today, and I said, yeah, I've been looking into getting a night guard. Oh, I said, how much is with insurance? Like, how much they normally cost? And the girl said, about 400. I said, about 400, 400, 400. Like, nah,
yeah, your teeth are expensive, my boy.
I'm like, look, I'm good on that. Like I said, I got insurance. They better cover, so they better knock that back down to 2 some. She was some. She because I ain't paying 400. Put me on a payment plan or something. That's the only thing y'all get from my ass. But yo, man, June's World 2, man. June 16th is coming out, bro.
Oh my goodness. You see, he sent me the pic. He's put it in. It's officially on the way.
That's what she said. Set his ass up for them. He walked into that.
Okay.
Woo!
That is the worst woo I have heard in a while. Sir, you need to work on that.
Hey, man, it don't matter. You know what kind of show this is. But yeah. June 16th.
June's World 2, June 16th. It is officially on the way. How are you feeling, my guy?
Man, look, I feel great, bro. It feels like one of the situations where I didn't know what I want to. If I didn't tell myself I was going to put it out June 16th, it probably would have never came out. I just probably would have waited for the 7th year anniversary of the project, which would be in the fall. I'm like, you know what, freak it, because I might well do it in June and have some wiggle room in the middle to drop something else. All right, cool. Now I can drop singles in the middle. I got like 5 songs already recorded. All right, 2 that can go on a side project, and I just got stuff already locked and loaded, like ready to go. Just got to get a mix and master. I'm like, and the joint I let you hear that's on my Instagram, that joint called Journal. I don't even know what I'm working. I don't even know when I'm put that out. And I never really like showcase stuff. I already like little Lucy's like that. Like, all right, cool. I let the people hear this. People like, all right, cool. I mean, I put it out whenever I feel like it, but I got a bunch of stuff. I got all kinds of stuff, man. But yeah, man. Got the new merch, got the new project, got everything. Like this logo gone. So if y'all like this, it's gone. It's gone.
False advertising, my friend.
It's
False
gone.
advertising. Why? Where? So, okay, you just can't put out the merch out there and wear it and be like, oh, haha, by the way, it's all gone. You can't get this no more.
I mean, this is the old one. This is the June 88th Avenue merch. June World 2 is gone. This is gonna be once I'm taking this down, this is gonna be gone by the time whenever I decide to take it down. But yeah, this ain't gonna be around too much longer. So if you want this, you better get it while you can. Cause it's still up as of right now. But other than that, man, we all moving. What's good in your neighborhood, man?
Man, the squad of geeks has been chill for the most part.
Oh yeah, you showed me that you got the new trap phone, aka the new work phone. I see you.
Look, I might be feeling like Kevin Gates with 2 phones on me, but it's not a trap phone, damn it.
You at the trap, you working, man. You geek squatting it up, man. You ain't in the
well, you don't call it the trap. What are you talking about?
Okay, you in the lab. You in the laboratory with the geeks, man.
Yeah, okay. Yes, I am your smart friend with a very smart phone. 2 of them.
It's an Android.
It really is. It's a Samsung, and it's a really nice. It's a nice one. I'll give them that. It's a very nice phone. The only thing is that I've heard about these phones is that they give you recycled phone numbers. And one of the guys that I work with, I've known him for a while. He's like, yeah, when I got my phone, dude, I got these text messages from these very high up rich people up in New York.
Oh,
Yeah, supposedly he got these text messages about projects that were happening, and he texted them back saying like, "Oh, yeah, you got the wrong number." And they're like, "Oh, sorry, we'll take you off." And then next thing you know, he's getting pictures of them celebrating New Year's and whatnot. And so he had to tell them, "Hey, you got the wrong number again." And he was like, "Man, you know what? If they kept on texting me, I was just tempted to start sending them memes so they know that it wasn't the right person." I was like, "You should have. That would have been hilarious."
Man, look, that I thought you were gonna go somewhere else with this. I thought he was going some high end entertaining women hitting them up like, bro, who is this? Sending some solicited pictures that you're not asking for. Like, girl, this is a work phone.
If I ever get something like that on my phone, the first thing I'm gonna say is, "Ma'am, this is a Wendy's."
Man, I'm sending them scriptures like, get away from here. Be gone, Satan.
Oh, no problem, Satan. Hello, Shamu.
Shoot, he ain't with that over here, shouting.
But you know who is with that right now?
Who?
The homie, Mr. October's very own Drizzy Drake.
So I'll paint the picture.
This man sent me a link to his new song, Search and Rescue, and he's like, "Have you heard this song?" And I'm like, "No." So he just sent it to me, and I heard it. Joint rides, but there's something to this song that has caught a lot of buzz. Tony, what you got for me?
Cat Daddy. So pretty much that's the clip that she says, "I done come this far to come this far and not be happy."
We all know who that was.
And she was addressing her and Kanye West's divorce.
And we're talking about Kim Kardashian, right?
Yes, the divorce between Kim and Kanye. And Drake sampled that. So, and the cover art is very kind of suspicious because people saying that looks like Kim in the picture. From the eyes, like, all right. But people like, Drake, you doing too much, you dragging stuff, man.
Some people are saying that might have been a Kim K body double for that picture.
Yep. And I'm sitting back like, I find it funny people telling Drake to chill when years ago people were just bodying Drake, making all kinds of jokes about him. Nobody was saying chill. But now Drake is Drake. And like, you're doing too much. I'm like, when is fair? Like, when is like, yeah, I was messed with. It was all cool when they was messing with me. When you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, I wouldn't have done that per se myself. Like, I feel like that's doing a little too much. That's like, you want somebody to fight you at this point. Like, you might as well start dating Kim Kardashian. But if he start dating Kim Kardashian, that'll be like, whoa, villain. That's a level of villain I don't even want to dance with.
See, okay. So you know the UFC had an event this past Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Follow me. And I think you may know where I'm going to go with this one. The level of petty that Drake is running with, as you're telling me, reminds me of what happened this past Saturday. Israel Adesanya, he reclaimed the middleweight title. And supposedly the guy he fought, this wasn't their first meeting. They fought before in Brazil. And the first time that Israel fought this guy, I don't know his name. I'll probably find it later on. They fought in Brazil. Israel got knocked out. The dude's son hopped in the ring, and there's video of the little kid hitting himself in the head with a water bottle and like falling down right next to him, saying like basically making fun that he got knocked out. Well, when Israel beat this guy for the title, you know, he was hyped up. He was, talking his stuff, you know what I'm saying? He was celebrating. He goes back, looks for the guy's son, sees him, points him out, and falls asleep.
I see
to make
that.
it seem like to basically say, "I put your dad to sleep." And there's a video from like many angles of that kid's reaction when it all happened, and everybody's saying that Israel was doing too much. But Israel Adesanya said, like, "Look, that kid fired off first. he basically he started it. So it was only fair for me to return fire.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel like
And
it's
the whole thing of like, with Drake, and this could go with just anybody, when somebody is getting talked about or joked about or whatever the case may be for the longest time, you know, they can only take so much or they can only, do so much with it. Everybody's going to get their licks in regardless, whether it's roasting jokes, whether it's, whatever. But the day that the person that's getting roasted or the person that's getting all this heat returns fire and decides to like, okay, no, it's my turn and responds in whatever way, shape, or form, you know, I don't think that it should. I don't think that the whole thing of like, yo, you need to chill needs to come about. Now, granted, there are some moments where, okay, maybe returning fire the way that you did was a little too much. But overall, like, if someone is dishing out the jokes, you know how it is whenever, like, when we get into a good roasting session,
oh
if you
shit,
could dish it, you better be able to take it.
man. Look, we've been in the midst of what we Izzy used to be in our wrestling group. Everybody got it, but when it's your turn to catch fire, it's like, oh damn, I got torched. He got torched. Everybody in that group got torched. But when you flaming, when you in the midst of flaming and having a good time, then you get the grill. Then your ass get thrown on the grill. I've been thrown on the grill many a time. I'm like, damn. You gotta laugh. You gotta take the laugh. You can't get mad. Like, I put like you can't get mad because nigga, you was just roasted. And you try to shift the energy. Nah, we on your ass right now.
Exactly.
Nah, stay on the grill. Flip them over, guys.
Yeah, that's how it is. But okay, but in the context of what Drake is doing right now, look, I'm gonna be honest. This is the very first Drake track that I've heard in a long time. I haven't kept up with the guy. I haven't kept up with a lot of mainstream artists. So this is the first time I've heard his new song or whatever, or any song of his in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I really didn't have a say when it came to like this whole Drake, Kanye West type situation because like after a while it just gets boring, it just like it loses its luster and it's just like okay, what's the point? We know the situation, we know what the situation was between Kanye and Kim and how that happened, and then you had Pete Davidson enter into the mix and then yada yada yada. It's just like what's the point of like adding to the fire? But Drake, being the way that he is, he's strategic with his marketing. He's strategic with how he goes about it. Now, I don't know where this leads. I don't know what this does or how this plays out. Honestly, if you ask me, I really could care less about it, to be honest. Like, it doesn't faze me one bit. I'm not
I
gonna get
say the same thing, but I'm more like on the sense of like I put it to you in to this perspective, like, bro, like I wouldn't if I never heard about the situation at hand, unless I never would have known about what was going on. Oh, this is
yeah,
a
same
kid.
here.
I would have never known. But like, I think the only reason I brought it up was because like, yo, it's like, yo, they're like, why is he still keeping this going? Why? It's
Like beating a dead horse with a stick.
yeah, like people think things sweet out here in these streets, but when people fire back, it's kind of like having a sweet tooth. You know what I mean? People think Drake's sweet in these streets, and he start capping back. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. What you think, bro? Like, man, how you feeling, man?
Like I said, I really could care less about this one because like it's Drake.
Yeah.
Drake this is a strategic move by him, marketing wise, and he's getting people talking or whatever. But then again, though, it's like we know the history, we know the story behind how everything played out, and you know, we all know Kanye hasn't really been the same since mom died, and now with the fact that him and Kim and their kids and the entire situation and whatnot has been played out, it's just like, what's the point? For me, I'm more along the lines of like forget all that. Demon Slayer season 3 just dropped, and I'm trying to catch up on all of that so I can get back to this anime.
Oh yeah, I was watching that. I was watching the first episode today. Yesterday.
Bro, so let me tell you, I hopped on my Crunchyroll app. I start watching my Demon Slayer. What I've been doing is I've been rewatching pretty much everything up to season 3 so I can be caught up in whatever. I'm about ready to watch the Mugen Train movie all over again. And
You ain't seen the Mugen Train, man?
I've seen it. Boy, I've seen it.
Man, that's a good time right there. My man Tanjiro, when he found out he was asleep, he kept wake your oh, you thought it's sweet out here, huh?
Yeah, he nearly offed himself for real.
Yeah, like they're like, oh, but hey, this is real. Yeah, chill.
No, but it's like I'm watching, like I'm about ready to watch the movie, and I noticed somebody has already started watching season 3 episode. I don't know who. I don't know, but all I know is that when I logged onto the app, because it's my account, but I have a few people in the family that are sharing the app with me. They share it underneath my account. Somebody was watching because I noticed it had 27 minutes left in it, and I'm like, who did this?
I feel like a lot of shade being thrown right now. I feel like your energy's coming towards me right now.
No, not towards you. No, I just like who started watching this? Because it just popped off yesterday, and I haven't been on the app in a while.
Okay, nigga, I watched the I come clean. I watched Demon Slayer.
I know you watched it. You just said you did. You just said you started watching it or whatever. Don't say nothing because I'm trying to watch this episode. I'm trying to see it, but like I said, I want to watch pretty much. I want to run it through until I get to that episode, and by the time I finish, maybe episode 2 will drop because I want to be like one after the other.
I thought they were gonna drop it all in bulk like they did before. Like,
no, it's like the way that they do it is the day that it drops in Japan, like the new episode drops in Japan, that new episode drops on the app like an hour later.
Okay.
Yeah, so when the new episode gets released over there, it drops over here that same day, just an hour later, and we get everything else. But we gotta discuss something. I gotta ask you a question.
All right, let's talk about it.
I need you.
You need me
to give
you
your top 5
candy.
Damn. And the reason I'm asking is because Jason Kelsey and Travis Kelsey on their show, the New Heights podcast,
right?
They were talking about top 5 candy. Jason Kelsey brought up Bueno bars and Kit Kats, basically all the wafers. And then they were talking about like the most overrated, underrated candy. And Jason Kelsey was talking about his favorite candy is Bueno bars and Kit Kats, while Travis was like Gobstoppers and Skittles and Butterfingers. Like, it was a very interesting dialogue they had. Very funny. Very, very funny one. And it got me thinking, like, I haven't been one to like have candy in a while. Like, I haven't had candy like that in a long time. But whenever I do have a candy, like when I'm feeling for a little bit of something, there are a specific few that I will go to.
Okay.
But I just want to know, what is your top 5 or like maybe top 3? Like, what is your go-to candy?
Okay, so I've been like, it depends on my mood. Like, sometimes I'm feeling chocolatey, but then I want some fruit candy.
I mean, you're feeling chocolatey? I mean,
that's it. You ain't shit. That was a good one. Hey. Too sweet. Come on. Too sweet. Nah, but
yes, sir. You know I had to hit you.
Yeah, bro. I feel like my favorite, it was Twix, but it was the cookies and cream Twix.
Ooh, I never had those.
They don't make them no more.
What?
I think they discontinued. They don't have them. Like, they used to have them in the stores all the time. Well, I guess I don't know what they did to them. They took them off the shelves, or they don't have. No, that was my favorite.
Okay.
That would be like, I would say, if I'm doing the top 5, that would be like, sheesh. What would that?
Yeah, that got you thinking.
Cause you know what? Off top, number 1, I got to give it to what's the stuff called? Black Forest gummy bears. Black Forest gummy bears are just top tier goated gummy bears. Don't at me, y'all, in the comments. Then I gotta go with like Skittles, wild berry Skittles. Then I'm gonna have to go with the Twix, the cookies and cream Twix. Overrated, side note, overrated. That goddamn blueberry muffin Kit Kat bar.
Never had it.
It ain't everything what everybody was hyping it up to be. I had them like, yeah, this ain't nothing to fight Mike Tyson over. But the traditional Kit Kat bar is always a good time. And number 5, Starburst.
Okay, now here's my question about the Starburst. Are you eating every single one, or are you getting rid of a few?
Look here.
Be honest. The Lord is here with us right now.
I'm like, I treat my Starburst like I treat my beer. I'm not wasting any beer. I don't waste any Starburst. Oh. I may save some for last. I may save like the lemon. I'm gonna eat that last. So okay. The orange, the cherry, I'm gonna eat those first. Strawberry, I'm gonna eat those first. But the yellows, they always go last.
Are they your favorite ones? That's why.
What? No, those are my least favorite. Like,
really? Okay. Yeah. I would figure like your favorite ones you kind of push to the side and be like, I'm gonna save these for last.
Now you gotta knock the one you don't like for last. Okay, you need like it's like if I ain't got nothing else, like I got
these last. Okay. So for me, so my favorite candies, like for like you said, like it depends on like what I'm looking for, what I want. Depends like what mood I'm in. So Skittles is one of my go-tos. Sour Skittles.
I forgot about them though. The golden,
one of my favorites.
I like those.
Sour Patch Kids.
I like those. Okay.
Sour Patch Kids. That's another one of my go-tos. That's like Sour Patch Kids is like top. It's like top for me.
Okay, I'm with it.
Like Sour Skittles, Sour Patch Kids. Those two, that's like tied for first place right there. That's like one of my favorites. If I want something chocolatey, Butterfingers, Twix, a Snickers. There is the sour straws, or like the sour straws, certain Airheads.
My man said sour straws. You know what? To piggyback off a conversation that we had the last week's episode, I'm gonna send you something.
Okay, what you got for me?
Check that should be coming in shortly. Delivered. You check your checks.
Okay. Oh.
Now, you say sour straws, right?
Yeah.
That right there is brewed with watermelon sour straws. I talked to the guy from the brewery. I said, yo, this reminds me of such. He said, yeah, it's brewed with such and such. I'm like, how did y'all? Yeah.
Really?
Yes, it's only in Texas. So if you're ever in Texas, if you're ever in the city, I got you. I'm not going to say what it is because they don't pay me to say their brand, but it's a tasty beverage.
I'm looking at it right now, and it looks amazing.
It is amazing. And the one that's next to it,
it's an actual beer, or what is it?
It's a beer. It's a beer. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, bet. I'll take you up on that.
But man, I used to eat so many sour straws back when I was a kid. The water, the green apple, the grape.
Yeah.
The
green apple sour straws, the watermelon, the strawberry joints, blue
raspberry.
You know what?
They had some. This is back in the day. I know it. They came in the 90s. It was Starburst. They were like licorice, but it was like strawberry.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
yes.
Those.
What? No, Twizzlers. I'm gonna hit you with one. Twizzlers, but they had the strawberry and the lemon combined.
See, the only Twizzler I liked was the cherry ones, and they were like the pull apart ones.
Yes, yes.
The
I love
only one I would eat.
those. Was my favorite
I had
too.
a phase with those. I had like a phase of those for like a. I had a phase to eat those for like a week. I was just knocking them back in high school. I don't know why. It's like these are so delicious. I don't know why. But then I'm like the next one. These are trash. I don't even like them no more.
So some of my favorite go-to snacks while I was working at a warehouse, when I was warehouse working or whatever, or when I was getting ready to leave out, go to work. When I was leaving work to go home, I would go to the gas station at times and fill up, and then I would go inside the station to get some snacks just to keep myself awake while I'm heading home, because back then I was driving an hour to and from work or whatever.
Right.
So whenever I would go in, depending on like how I was feeling that day, I would probably get me like a Red Bull or a Monster, and then I would get.
Damn. Your heart gonna explode in your chest. Good Lord.
I mean, this is like at the end, but like I wouldn't be like guzzling it down all of a sudden. Like I'd sip on it, like while I have something in my stomach, because like if you drink it while you have an empty stomach, it's like drinking alcohol on an empty stomach. You're gonna get hit.
Oh, okay.
So like I always had a snack on me or something. So when I had like let's say I do Red Bulls now more than anything. If I do get an energy drink, I can't do Monsters like that. I do Red Bulls because they're a lot easier. But I would always get like the Chex Mix bags, the mix bags with like the Chex Mix and the pretzel sticks and the little sweet stuff inside of it, the trail mix stuff.
Yeah.
That was my go-to. That's a go-to snack of mine.
Okay. Man, that's a good one right there. That's a good one right there, bro.
Okay, matter of fact, I got one more question and then we'll move on. Music related, but I got something for you.
All right.
If you could bring back one artist that has passed away and have them run a full album, you name the features, if there's any, who would it be?
The cliche thing, I know the cliche thing would be saying Michael Jackson, Prince, although that's cliche to say.
I'm talking about you, not cliche. I want to know from you.
For me, because I didn't get to enjoy their music when they were alive, I would have to say Pop Smoke, because I didn't get a chance to listen to his. I didn't become a fan until after he died. Until I finally like, yo, it was the I Feel Invincible joint. Let me hear this whole song all the way through. Like, oh, this is pretty good. I listened to Meet the Woo. I'm like, welcome to the party. Okay. All right. And it's like, oh. I'm like, yeah, he was gone way too soon. Like, yeah, I would definitely want to see him with some Benny the Butcher, West Side Gun, Conway.
Let all of New York ride with him one time.
Like Push. I like him with Drake. Hell, who else?
Action Bronson got to get in the mix somehow.
Yeah, Bronson put him in.
Him and Bronson would have made a
I take it back. Have Pop with Ghostface and Raekwon, and that would be just Ghostface, Raekwon, Method Man, and Pop Smoke on the track. That would be some gangster stuff right there. I'll be like, okay.
Give me, and I've actually got to listen to some of his projects while he was still alive before everything happened. Nipsey Hussle would be my guy.
Okay.
Nipsey, bring him back, but like bring him back with some of the artists that I've heard now, like Larry June, homie Stunner Man, O2, Pilo, like have him connect with some of the North California, the Bay Area, because I feel like he would have been that like his style is versatile. Like he was one of the more versatile rappers I've ever heard. But I feel like connect him with some of those guys. I think like there could have been some classics. But then again though, like, I only got to, I only got to know him a little bit through like, and it's funny how I found out about him.
Oh, I got a funny Nipsey story too, but go ahead.
GTA 5, I heard his song on one of the radio channels on that game.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, who is this? So I looked it up and I was like, hold on. So I listened to it and I'm like, yo, this rides. So I looked up a little bit more about Nipsey and then I started really hearing him out, like just his entire catalog was just like he was crazy with it.
Yeah, I found out about Nipsey through Party Next Door. He had a song on Party Next Door's first project. But no, it wasn't even on that part. It was like a single. It was called Candy. And it was literally like, if you, from what it looked, it was Nipsey featuring Party Next Door because all Party did was sing the hook and Nipsey had a whole verse.
Yeah.
I'm like, and I like when it got to it, like she say, I make him want to get dressed more. Never talk about the sex, make him want. I'm like, oh, this dude is cold. I'm like, this dude is like, that's the one. If I had to recite one Nipsey, I know that whole verse. Like Life on the Line, I can like that's the verse. Like, yo, that's the only Nipsey song I know. Cause I didn't follow him. Like I fell off of Nipsey after that song. Cause I didn't really follow up because I don't listen to a lot of West Coast rappers. I'm more East Coast and South. I never ventured to the West like that. But there's not a lot of West Coast people that get my attention like that. There's no disrespect to the West Coast. Like there was like I haven't found like a West Coast rapper that like stuck out to me like
that like really like made their mark on you, huh?
Yeah, like cause once you get my attention, oh, you got my attention. Like, yeah. Cause that was at a time where when Party Next Door first project came out, that was a time where music was just coming out like rapid.
Boy, like it was rap. Yeah, like music was just one after another. Like you had Party Next Door, and then you had this person come out with an album or this person come with a song. And it's just like, yo, there's so much to go around. But nowadays, it's like there are artists that are coming out with music, and we're like, well, who's this guy?
Yeah, like it's so much going on at one time. Like it's too much music going on for me to keep up at that time. Like, and by the time Nipsey became who he was, I'm like, I was like, everybody was a fan of Nipsey at that time. Like, man, I'm more like, it sounds crazy. I'm the kind of person where I start fading back once everybody become a big fan of somebody. Like,
so when someone gets all mainstream in a sense, that's when kind of like, all right.
Because like when The Weeknd was The Weeknd, like nobody knew what he looked like when he said I was working at Aeropostale and my song was on the radio and nobody knew it was me but me. Like yo, this song is good, but nobody knew that was me. Like, and then he finally blew up and everybody was like clowning me for liking him. Now he's the biggest artist. I don't even listen to his music anymore. I'm not a fan. No, he still wanna like. I don't listen to his music. Everybody's of XO. Like y'all was the same niggas that saying he was. All right, y'all got it.
Yeah.
But where we at now, man? We moving forward. Where we at? But what we talking about?
Sports. We gotta talk about it.
I'm gonna say this before we talk about it. XFL. You gotta look it up. I don't know who this new quarterback is for the Arlington Renegades. We needed this guy the whole goddamn season.
Oh boy.
The whole season.
Was he that good?
Dude, he was airing that joint out.
I remember you were talking about last week, like, yo, I don't know what it is with the XFL or whatnot, but like Arlington need to air the ball out or whatever. And next thing you know, y'all find your guy.
Yeah, like dude, it was like everything I wanted them to do, he did it. Like he was just That's what we need the whole game because the honor today was like bubble screen. Hey, here you go. Short pass. Air that mug out. I'm like, dog, come on. We still I think we still in the playoff bubble. But like bro, what are you doing?
I'll tell you this much when it comes to the XFL and whatnot. Seattle, Seattle, their quarterback was making moves and whatnot.
Ben
DiNucci, number 6, along with Josh Gordon and the newest acquisition to the team, former running back of the Denver Broncos, Philip Lindsay.
Yep.
They lost a very close game yesterday, 34-33 at home. And DiNucci got over 2,000 yards passing. First quarterback to do that. The first one to do it this season. The most consistent quarterback this season. The Sea Dragons have been making noise. Right now, they're sitting at 5-3, while the Defenders and the Roughnecks have clinched both the spots in the South and North Championship. Bro, we're getting close to the playoffs. We're like 2 weeks out.
Dude, if I could pick another team, the Battlehawks. St. Louis is ridiculous. They got the best crowd in the whole XFL.
Between them and DC, they got the best stadium, the best crowds. But you know what's going on with the XFL, right? Like I said, there's only a couple of weeks left to the playoffs, which means one thing.
What did you say?
I said the XFL is getting close to the playoffs, which means there's only one thing happening after that.
USFL? Look.
The USFL is going to be starting up really soon. Last I checked, I think they're getting ready to go into training camp right now.
Look, let me go back to the Battlehawks real quick.
Talk about them.
That game, which game was that thing? It was like a close game. Like
it was versus the Brahmas, and it went to overtime. No. It was against the Vipers. The Las Vegas Vipers. They were playing at home, and the Vegas Vipers forced overtime, and they won in overtime.
Bro, I ain't never been so like that game was so good. It was so good. Like that was the first ever overtime in XFL this season.
All right, hold on now. Let's see. It looks like we have our official theme night schedules for the USFL. They will be playing in Birmingham, Memphis. They'll be playing at Ford Field in Detroit, and they will be playing at the Hall of Fame Field in Canton, Ohio.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, side note, I didn't know Seattle played at the Seahawks Stadium.
Yeah.
I looked at
they play at Lumen Field.
I didn't know that. Like
that's what they were playing at when they first started in the XFL.
Really?
Yes.
Oh shit.
Like DC, St. Louis, and Seattle all play at the exact location that they started playing in when it first kicked off in 2020.
Okay. Before we go to the USFL, since we can say we had a full season of XFL in this right now. We can pretty much say, as of now, how do you feel about the XFL season? And we going into week 9. Week 9. How do you feel about the XFL as of right now?
I love it. Granted, viewer, I know this was the first season that we're running as a full season. The last time they tried to run it, pandemic hit, shut the season down 5 weeks into it, and everybody was kind of questioning to see how it was going to play out. it's gotten better and better each week. We're seeing the scores actually kick up a notch. We're seeing the defenses play to their potential. The offenses are starting to play up to the game that they're supposed to. Coaches are making the adjustments they need. Like, we're starting to see the level of play kick up a notch. Like I said earlier, you talked about it when we first started the XFL. You were like, it's kind of slow. And I'm like, just think about it. They got to get the kinks out because they haven't done this in a while. They had no preseason. They had no training camp. It was like, what, a month maybe of getting practices together. They haven't played each other yet. So this is the first time they're actually going to get things situated and really rolling. And we're seeing that now. Like, we're seeing how all these teams are finally gelling together and whatnot. Think about it's like this. It's like, why when you see an NFL team, right, get new players, like, for example, the Cincinnati Bengals, my team, right? When we got the offensive line that we got last year with Alex Kappa, Ted Karras, and Lael Collins, when we upgraded our offensive line, everybody was thinking that we're going to run roughshod. Burrow's not going to get sacked so much left, right, that he's going to be untouched in so many facets. But certain things popped up. Joe Burrow had an appendectomy, like, during training camp, so he wasn't able to train with the guys. He wasn't able to practice with them, build that chemistry up. The first 2 weeks, Bengals go 0-2. Joe's getting sacked 13 times in total within the first 2 weeks, and everybody's looking like, the Bengals are having that Super Bowl hangover. That offensive line ain't doing too much. But really, like, once it got down to like week 3, once we got to like week 5, week 6, you saw that offensive line really click. And like, Burrow was untouched. The ball was getting out quicker. Everybody was making their plays. Granted, we lost a couple of guys like within a couple of weeks before the playoffs or whatever. But other than that, though, we had one of the better offensive lines in the league. And you look at how the XFL is, like, everybody was just trying to get together, trying to click, trying to, understand how to play with each other and whatnot, how the chemistry was supposed to be. And we're seeing that now with the XFL. I'm excited to say that we've gotten through a full season of the XFL. We got 2 more weeks left, plus the playoffs and the championship game. So I can only hope for, bigger and better things going into year 2 next year.
Yeah, I think year 2 gonna be
it's gonna be a good one.
It's gonna be crazy. Do you think we're gonna get more teams in the XFL? We got
I think so. I think we'll see. I think we'll see like maybe 1 or 2 more teams pop up. I think we'll see something like that. I think with the XFL being the way it is, I know that there are certain places that could use an XFL team that could like really.
Okay, we got 8, so we can get, if we get 10 teams, what 2 teams do you think? What 2 states could get a team?
What 2 cities?
Yeah, what 2 cities?
San Diego needs one. They've shown that they could be a sports town. The Padres have kicked off. The Aztecs, we saw what they did in the Final Four. We saw what they did in the national championship game. San Diego is a football town. San Diego's a football town. I'm going to put it out there. Like, they need a football team. Like, let them play at Snapdragon Stadium where the Aztecs play, where their college team plays. Put them over there. Like, put them over there. And watch how San Diego rallies behind that team. I think you could make the argument that maybe the NFL messed up by taking the Chargers away from San Diego. And then
I think the NFL messed up by taking the damn Rams from St. Louis, because like, if you got a crowd like, dude,
tell them again. Say it for the people in the back.
I think they messed up by taking the Rams from St. Louis, because I say this. And I'm gonna stand on this, even though I'm from Dallas, not a Cowboy fan. Y'all should know that already. And I'm not from Arlington, so that's the only team we have in the XFL. But I feel like if the St. Louis Battlehawks, their first week, crumbs in that stadium. It wasn't that many people. It was like a couple hundred. Next week, that thing was jammed to Copaso T.
Bro, do you know their first home game wasn't until week 4 of the season? They had 3 away games.
You're right. I'm sorry. You're right. That home game, I'm thinking, they was on the road. I'm sorry. But
no. Dude, St. Louis had 3 away games back to back to back.
That's
Their
all.
first home game was week 4, and they were posting about like you need to fill the dome up or whatever. They filled it to capacity to the point where like they were debating on opening up the upper deck.
Look at this way. The the Battlehawks and we're gonna switch gears. And DC are in the same division.
Maybe
I don't know. I don't know how the division work, but all I'm saying is, if the playoffs have to go through, if a playoff game has to go be played in St. Louis, they're gonna jam pack that joint. That more gonna be
DC and St. Louis. They play in the same division.
Oh snap! So who gonna get the home game?
I think DC already got it. They got a 7-1 record. Houston has a 5-3 record, and they didn't claim their South. They didn't claim the South Division or whatever. So only one more team can get in, because the way that it works is
We know who's not getting in that joint.
Huh?
We know who's not getting in there.
Vegas and Orlando.
You goddamn right.
Okay, so here's my question: between Seattle and St. Louis, who do you think takes on DC in their North Division playoff?
I want to say St. Louis, and I got DC losing.
Whoa!
Let me tell you why. Because DC, they playing really good. They got a dent in their armor right now, but they could win it all. Cause I would hate for DC to do all this work to lose a big one. And
okay, so in the South, who do you got going? We have the hero. Are we hiding our identities now? Is this what we're doing?
Okay, we back. Had to take care of something. But nah, like I think
so DC versus St. Louis, right? That's what you said?
DC St. Louis. And I realize I say DC versus St. Louis. I think DC may take it all, but I would hate for them to lose the big one at the championship game.
You want to know the funny thing?
What?
St. Louis plays Seattle this upcoming Sunday, and if Seattle wins, both them and St. Louis will be tied at 6-3.
Oh, for real?
Yes, that's how the standings are right now. St. Louis has a game advantage over Seattle, but if Seattle wins, they tie up in the record books, and it goes down to week 10. Whoever gets the final week 10 happens. Whoever wins their game could possibly move into like the playoff spot.
Right.
And both teams could possibly have okay. So Seattle wins their game versus St. Louis next Sunday, right?
Right.
The Battlehawks play the Guardians, and the Sea Dragons play the Vipers in week 10. So that means we could end up seeing two teams at 7-3, and it could be a tiebreaker needed to see who moves on to the next round.
Right.
So it's going to be very interesting. But as we're talking about football or whatever, we got the USFL coming up.
We'll talk about that next. We'll talk about
that. But we got to discuss this right here.
Mr. One Hand himself, Mr. Blind Mohawk, Mr. LSU, Mr. coming off of 2 ACLs.
Hasn't played. He didn't play all of 2022 because of his recovery.
Mr. 8 milli.
15 mil with 3 in incentives, so it's 18 mil in total. But Odell Beckham Jr. signed a 1-year deal with the Baltimore Ravens yesterday.
And what's so funny, I laughed. He didn't understand why I was crying, laughing.
Don't do this.
I got you.
Don't do this. Don't. Because
Okay, no.
I know why you want to say what you want to say, and I find it funny, yes, but no, we're not going to do that to them
Okay.
because we already know that's not a logo on their helmet. It's a rating.
So are we counting both of those as one? Because if it's a rating, it's a 2-star rating.
No, it's one. It's
Okay.
only a 1-star rating.
You didn't pissed off. I think we done pissed off the community for them people. But anyway, go ahead.
The reason I'm thinking, okay, so look, this signing was out of left field. Like jumped out the window without a parachute, but yet landed on their feet.
Yes, they did.
The reason I'm looking at this as a out of left field sign is because they got a quarterback situation going on still. It was made known by Lamar Jackson himself through a series of tweets that on March 2nd, and we talked about this a few weeks ago. We talked about this.
Yes, we did.
That Lamar Jackson on March 2nd requested a trade from the Baltimore Ravens organization.
He did.
And on the 7th, they gave him that non-exclusive franchise tag, which means teams could go after him. And so far, there have been no takers. But reports were coming out. The Ravens apparently made an offer to Baker Mayfield to be a quarterback. They offered him a contract, but he declined and ultimately went to Tampa Bay and signed a 1-year, $8 million deal. Nelson Aguilar, they look at him, they bring him in, and then Odell Beckham Jr. comes into the fray. And, you know, I'm not going to front. Odell, I believe he still has something in the tank. I believe that, you know, when he's healthy, he's one of the more dynamic wide receivers in the game. Like, he's proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that you cannot leave him on an island. Like, he will burn you if you give him the opportunity. The only issue I see here, and there's two of them that I see. One, he has not played a full season due to his knee. Because remember, he tore the ACL at the Super Bowl, and it was the same ACL that he tore when they played the Bengals when he was with Cleveland back in 2020. So he tore that exact same ACL. And also, again, the Ravens, they don't know what the deal is with Lamar Jackson right now. They're still trying to figure out how, if they're going to bring him back or whatnot. But what I'm saying is this was just a desperate attempt to keep Lamar in Baltimore. This was an attempt by the management, by Eric DaCosta, to find a way to keep Lamar Jackson as a Baltimore Raven, because everybody knows Lamar Jackson is one of the more dynamic quarterbacks in the NFL. I'm a Bengals fan, but I know talent when I see it. I know when there's a special player on the field.
He's good. I put like Lamar Jackson, I feel like this. He's one of them players like, I don't get. Here's my thing with football. I don't get how when you're a Heisman winner, you don't get the. I know there's difference between being a Heisman winner in college and it transitioning over into the NFL, because you can be a Heisman winner and you can be a 2-time Heisman winner and be a bust in the NFL. You know what I mean?
Johnny Manziel.
What you say?
Johnny Manziel.
Yeah. We don't talk about Manziel like that, but
Jamarcus Russell.
I think a lot of his issue was self-inflicted. But I feel like Lamar is good enough to get what he deserves. You know what I mean? That's like saying, no, I'm not even going to bring that man up. But I think he deserves to get what he, come on now. Like,
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this about Lamar. We know what he's capable of when he's on the field.
Yes, he do. Yes, we do.
We know what he brings to the table. We know how he can alter the game when he's on the field, because the way his speed is, the way he can, like, you know, bring a defense out of its alignment or whatever and get the open man downfield. He has an arm. He can throw the ball as well. We know this about him. The issue with what I'm saying is Lamar hasn't been able to move on games. He hasn't been able to really bring it in games that are like that matter.
Do you think he's okay? It's kind of like, let's use the
He
Eagles for
has a
example.
1-4 playoff record right now. Every playoff game they've had, they've either been bounced out of the wild card, or if they had home field and they were in the divisionals, they got bounced out divisionals.
So do you think AJ? Do you think Damn, I'm calling everybody else name, but who I'm talking to. Do you think Lamar Jackson needs? Do you think Odell Beckham will be like AJ Brown or Claypool or DJ Moore for him if they got him? Do you think he can like take him to
Like
that?
help him take him to that next level.
Yeah,
I don't know, and I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm not trying to be like, oh no, because like who we got the Bengals and we got this and no. The reason why I'm saying I don't know is because of how toxic this situation is right now with the
yeah,
Ravens and Lamar. We don't know if Lamar with OBJ, and granted, this is a 1 year deal. This is a 1 year deal with a wide receiver who has had a plethora of injuries. He is injury prone.
yep.
This is not me harping on the guy. This is me stating uh this is a fact. We've seen Odell hurt from time to time. Again, let's go back 2020 when he was with Cleveland, he tore his ACL versus Cincinnati in week 7, and then he comes back to Cleveland, gets traded to LA, they go to the Super Bowl, and he tears his ACL in the Super Bowl.
And so
And he hasn't played in a full year. So we don't know if now we've seen videos of him, rehabbing, and we've seen videos of him training or whatever, and he looks like he's good to go. And again, I'm not one to doubt his skill set. I'm not one to doubt that he ain't ready to roll. Like I believe, like I said, that with Odell Beckham Jr., when he's healthy, he's a top tier wide receiver. He's a deep threat. He can take the top off, and he could, you don't want to leave him on the island. I don't know if he would be enough to help Lamar, you know, hit that next level.
right,
Because remember, it's not just a one-man team. You just can't have 2 or 3 guys and then that's it. You need 11 players on the team, and Odell and Lamar can only do so much.
that's true.
It's like Cleveland, for example. Cleveland, for example, they were off to a 3-0 start, or they were off to like they were off to like a pretty solid start.
Mhm.
You had Jacoby Brissett behind center and Nick Chubb, and you had your wide receiver core, and everybody was moving. Michael Woods, Donovan people, like they had a solid core. Like they had people. They had a good team. But what we saw, and even with like Deshaun Watson making his return, was that you just can't depend on one guy to do it.
Right.
Because even with Deshaun Watson, they still went like 7-9, 7-10.
But with that being said, man, we the Captain Hour. We ain't giving them more. We ain't giving that one long episode, man. Bring us home, Izzy. Bring us home.
Uh, I was getting in my bag for a second, but we can do that right there. Um, it's your boy, Izzyphantasmo. And also, before we go, I have to make a quick shout out to the man that I have taken his name and ran it as my own, El Phantasmo of New Japan Pro Wrestling. It was a very sad day for me. Very sad day. El Phantasmo no longer with the Bullet Club.
He'll be
Screw
in Bullet
you,
Club back.
Ishimori. You guys were the cutest tag team out of Bullet Club, and you ruined it.
Damn.
He will have his revenge, and I will too. I have a championship.
He does.
I have two.
I do too.
I see it on the wall right there. But with all that said and done, it's your boy Izzyphantasmo.
JunesEightyEIght. The show about nothing.
JunesEightyEIght.
And we
Are
out of
here.
here.
Woo!